Will.
Ta-da. There should be a ta-da sound, I think, when you go live. Shouldn't there be? You don't think so?
You talking
I
to
think
me?
so. I'm talking to
You talking
you.
to me?
Yes, my dear.
Ah. What time is it, Robert?
It's 4:20-ish.
So what does
Depending on
that
where you
mean,
are. That
Robert?
means I have to kiss you. Well, not kiss you. I have to. I didn't mean to say have to kiss
Yes, you did.
I kiss you at 4:20.
Every day. Remember that, everybody.
So if you look down and you see it's 4:20 on the East Coast, I guess,
Correct.
currently,
Yes.
you'll know that we're kissing. Big deal, you say.
Yeah.
But if you were me, it'd be a big deal.
That's correct. So,
Very correct.
happy 2024.
Happy 2024.
This
I'm
is our
still
first
writing
time-
1986 on my checks. I
Well,
want you to know.
I have literally been writing 2023 all week.
Have
And
you?
that is
What do you-
that's a traditional that is
When-
probably something that
When do
happens a
you-
lot the first few days of the
when
year.
do you write
Robert, you know
the
I
date?
write. Okay, I just wrote it on the documents that we just
Oh.
created to go live.
But doesn't, when you create the document,
Is there a
doesn't it
date?
create a date when you
No.
create the document? No, I know computers.
There's
I
no
think
date
it
on
does.
this piece of paper.
It is on the file.
It's not on this piece of paper if I don't write it.
Okay.
So I wrote on this piece of paper
Yes.
1/4/24. But
How
my
is the only
original
person I know actually that still well, maybe not, and we'll talk about this
Not
going forward.
now.
I'm saying you're the only person I know whose pens actually run out of ink,
Actually, I just threw away 2 this week.
but for different reasons. I know one of the pens we threw away, and,
That's
and
it.
that
That was a
wasn't
different reason.
necessarily out of
Well, it's
out of
interesting.
ink,
If people put
but we threw it
branding,
away.
people, the thing is, when you brand something, if it's not something you like, no matter what it is, you don't want a reminder of it, Robert.
That's true.
So why keep it? So I think that's tip number 1,
Right.
that if something irks you, annoys you, bothers you, simply discard of it. I'm not talking about you, honey. You don't bother me, annoy me, or enough. That's a key word.
I know how to walk the line.
No. But it's why should you have a reminder of something that doesn't serve you? And if it elicits,
and that's why I'm
this
not a
wasn't
fan.
even the topic.
That's
Wait,
why.
wait.
Well,
if it doesn't elicit joy, do not keep it.
okay.
But
Now I was
what were you
going to
go-
mention
go ahead.
tattoos.
Oh, okay. It's a little
Permanent, like
it's a little
no,
it's a little transgression.
no,
Totally.
no. Could you talk about permanence?
Yeah. Well, I didn't.
right?
I
And-
didn't.
well,
I
I'm
never.
just-
I never
well,
said
no,
that.
no. Just what you were saying in my mind as I was perceiving it. It was talking about permanence, and tattoos popped up into my head because,
We've seen a lot of series of movies lately with actors and actresses that are covered in tattoos, head to toe, arm to arm. But I got to tell you something.
and not
There
just
is-
porn.
There is something really beautiful about body art,
Yeah. No, but listen, listen, that's
but you can't throw that away. If you're
That's-
gonna, I mean, there
no,
are
but I know there are people that
that
have
have
gone
reversed it.
Well,
Try to.
listen, and most of the time, I'm gonna get, and I don't have. I'm gonna, full disclosure, I don't have any tattoos currently, but I would imagine that in the tattoo department, regrets are based on romantic relationships that have broken up, but you've gone ahead and put that person's
Well,
name
again,
somewhere
I
on your
think
body.
people should think in the long term. I think in life,
Well, but in
That's
the
a
heat of the
lesson
moment,
learned.
you do things,
you
and
should
that is,
think about the
to
long
reverse
term.
it. That's,
So, I mean, if you love your mother today, you love your mother tomorrow, and hopefully
I
forever.
would say
so,
mother. You could always have a tattoo that says mom,
or mother, or initials. But you know something? I love hearts, so I would probably put a heart wherever you wanted it. I mean, literally. And you know what I would do?
I had a fraternity brother
I have to
that
tell you-
got a tattoo because of he lost a bet.
Well, that's a dedication to its memory. But this HR, I love this logo. I am so proud of this logo. I would put this logo on my body
Okay.
because guess what? You are stuck with me for the rest of your life. It's a life sentence.
Okay. So are we off
Wait,
topic?
you know what? Before we talk about the topic, I
ahead.
actually want to
gonna
say
just
hi to
check and see
Deborah
it.
because Deborah is on. What?
Deborah.
You know, and we always like
And
to
Deborah-
engage and interact with
Deborah
our
wrote
audience.
that she only wrote one check last year.
So I want to comment on that. But you know what's also interesting, which I want to say, is Deborah and I have been friends for a long time. And I think it was mostly through Isogenics that we connected.
Mhm.
But Deborah shared, you know, Facebook has a pop-up, you know, you've been friends for 2 years or more.
Oh yeah, I saw you posted that. It
No,
only
Deborah
said that you were
posted
two-
it.
Oh, Deborah posted it.
Deborah posted it
But
on
it
my
was only
timeline.
like two. It only said 2 years. That's
Well,
ridiculous.
because I was hacked. So that's
right.
when. Oh, right. Oh, please.
I
Let's
forget.
see. Remember, that
about
doesn't
that.
serve us so well. So we just move forward, which is an important tip, too, to continue to move forward. So, Deborah, grateful that number one, you pop on to our lives regularly. That means an awful lot to us, and I'm going to voice it. Number two, regarding the check. Oh, is that funny? She's writing Richard Handy is opposite RH. She's showing RH. Okay. You see? I love where
There
the
are
brain
no
goes.
coincidences.
No coincidences. But I'm going to tell you something regarding the check. I haven't written a check except for to give maybe a wedding gift. And even that is changing as we speak because more and more couples are just putting everything online and you could just donate to a honeymoon fund or to a gift fund or to a home fund. And you know something? It is so easy to do it online.
Do you know? Okay, but do you know where you can witness someone who's writing a check? If you want to witness someone who's writing a check, do you know where you need to go?
An assisted living.
No.
What?
No. Do you know where you need to go to witness that?
A notary. What? No, what?
You need to be with me when I'm online at the supermarket
There we
because
go.
the person in front of me
Is writing the check.
will be writing a check.
Okay. I haven't seen that in a long time, but that is true. Actually, another side note, we were in a store shopping and Robert got on the line. And I thought the other line was going to go quicker. So I went on that line and I was just going to stay there until one of us.
We were line jockeying.
Well, we
No,
weren't.
Holly wanted a line jockey, but we didn't because I was confident that my line was going to move faster. And
It didn't.
guess what? It
It did
didn't
not.
because there are two things that you don't want to do with me. One is you never want to get on my line at the supermarket ever because that line will run out of receipt paper or it'll be a shift change or it'll be time to empty their drawer and take the money out. And you never want to go to see a Broadway show with me because
A
there
little
will
slip of paper will be in the
a
playbill.
little slip of paper saying the lead role will be played by the understudy.
So I want to first of all do a
You've been
shout out.
warned.
I want to say thank you to another viewer of ours and very good friend of ours, Judy, who bought this beautiful sweater for me. So I love it. I love wearing it. It's cozy. It's comfortable. It's my favorite color. Oh my goodness, that's three
So-
C words. Cozy, comfortable, color. And what Deborah wrote also is she wrote, we do everything online. And you know something? We really do. And here we are. And it's really cool. Actually, earlier today, I posted a replay of a video that we did 8 years ago. And I cannot believe, I mean, we were going online even before that, but crazy. Okay. And I have so many
We have a
amazing
deep
memories.
catalog of live video.
But as we move forward in this new year, we are only 4 days in. I did a post on January 1st talking about the rooms of our lives. And it was thought provoking to me because I do believe that people, as they walk through the rooms of their lives, physically and figuratively, you know, you think about all the lists of things, the cracks in the walls, or the things that need to be repaired when you go room to room. So it's like looking at a glass half empty or half full,
Mhm.
right? So you look at the walls and you say, what can I fix? Or you can look at it as a growth opportunity, Robert, and the potential of what's ahead. So I wanted to do a deeper dive into the rooms of our life. So why don't you share a little bit about what you think? Because I am the notes girl. Yes, I didn't write this out with my pens, but I definitely have some notes on why it's important to have balance as we walk through the rooms of our lives. And it could be the rooms that you think of that spark um, creativity, like our studio. This sparks creativity, this
Mhm.
room.
Mhm.
Or we can think of it as physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, relationally, and financially. I think all of those are compartments and rooms of our life. So I want you to share a little bit first before I give a little bit of Holly's wisdom.
Well, I think of when we say rooms, I think of the physical spaces in which we live, and much to your comment, and this will come to life in one of our upcoming podcast episodes, which we'll touch on in a moment, where we talk about how our home will be wherever we are together, right?
You're
And
quoting me.
yeah, I'm quoting you. So, I think about rooms,
Strongly feel that way.
I think about rooms in a physical sense, like where we spend time and the memories that we create within the rooms. And then I think about the rooms that we create spontaneously by bringing people together in a space, and that becomes a room in and of itself because of who's in it, not where it is or where we are necessarily, but that room of friends or family happens because of who's there in that room. If that room is empty, that doesn't take on the same energy, right? So I think of the physical space, and I think of the metaphysical space in that
I
regard.
love you, but
And I don't have notes.
wait. I got to tell you something that's not anywhere on my piece of paper of bullets. Let me tell you something. Your insights excite me.
Good. So let's make this quick so we can go upstairs.
What? Go upstairs to do what?
You
To be
know,
excited?
you know,
To get excited?
you know
I know.
that
You know what?
room.
There are some things that are private, honey.
I'm kidding. I'm
But I
kidding.
got to tell
we're
you,
not, we're not
we will
physical with
be.
each other.
We like to pull back the curtain. We like to share what goes on behind the scenes. That is something that we want to invite you to be a part of,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yes.
But not every
Without a
room.
doubt.
Not every room.
No.
You know what? I got to tell you something. The bedroom is not one of the rooms I'm going to talk about right now,
Mhm.
because I do believe what goes on in the bedroom belongs in the bedroom, singularly
Oh, I mean, for us, yes.
and doubly. What?
No, listen, there are a lot of
I know
people.
it's a private
No.
space, Robert. I think there
listen,
has to be some
Holly,
private spaces.
Holly,
I
listen to
live
me.
out loud,
Listen
Robert.
to me, okay?
Go ahead.
We know, and we've experienced this over the years, that what we think is personal and wouldn't necessarily
True.
discuss
True.
with others,
True.
we know we've been in conversation with people where they're sharing things where we go, really? Like what? Like, what? Like what? And so it really is subjective. What is private to one is not private to another.
Well, also, in private could be secret. So the thing is that there is a difference between the two words, and again, more to explore about that. So let's talk about walking through the rooms of our lives.
Go ahead.
Okay, because each one has a different mindset, right? So let's balance diligence with discovery. How do you like that, right? So in the living room is a place where you gather experiences.
Mm-hmm.
We find the stories that define our strength. Okay. Anything you want to share about that?
Well, I think it's interesting how we name spaces, right?
Love it.
So the living room
Love it. Love
right? That connotates to me, it's where we spend a lot of our time, right? We live in the living room, right? We
Yes.
know what we do in each room. We know what we do in the bathroom,
Yes. So okay. So
right? We know what we do.
No. So that's good. So again, you're being literal, right?
Yes.
And I'm usually the literal
But
one.
but
then you have the metaphorical.
the literal creates
So
the experience.
correct. So then you have the office, right? So you got the papers and you got the plans, and to me, it's a place of discovery, and that means really that's where the potential awaits.
But you know, it's
right?
interesting.
Because you start off with a blank canvas, right? That's what's so cool. When you're in the office, there is like a process and what you want to accomplish.
So what happens? What happens in shared space? Meaning,
okay, so we
like
have our
you lived in a
individual.
you lived in when I met you, you
Yes.
lived in a studio apartment
Yes.
where everything happened in the same room, essentially.
So this talk right
You
now,
slept, you lived,
I wouldn't have.
you
You know what? I
entertained.
couldn't have
you,
compartmentalized that. So actually,
you
so it
know,
would
the
all
only
be under
separate
one.
room you had was your bathroom.
Yes. So okay. So that's okay. But the thing is let's imagine, okay, that you still have the area where the bed is. You have an area where the sofa is. You have an area where the kitchen is. Okay, so just you can still have imaginary walls. Let's put it that way. Let's move on.
Okay.
In the kitchen. Now, me, I have actually a big sign that says I kiss better than I cook. I don't cook. So what I'm going to say about in the kitchen is all about nourishment. He nourishes me. He feeds me. He fuels me with so much because actually I'm entertained. I watch him cook and I love it, right?
I sing when I cook.
But when he cooks up, it's about he fuels my body and soul. So honestly, the kitchen is a source of nourishment. How do you like that? What do you, right? What's it to you? Exploring beyond what you may think about the kitchen. Or would you agree with what I just said?
No, I listen. Again, the kitchen takes on different modes depending on who's in the kitchen.
But it's usually just you and me,
Right.
and then
yes,
when we,
usually just
but
you
then
and me. But isn't
but
it
I
interesting?
love when we,
But it's
when
interesting
we have
when we
people,
entertain.
no matter whether it
we
be one people or two people or
But-
more.
But
Oh, there's so much joy in the kitchen. It is the center, the heart of the home.
yes, and I think
you're the heart of
that-
my home.
And I think that we're saying things that can go up on signs and that you can hang on the wall.
So true.
You know, it really becomes a
This is good.
place where people congregate.
Yes.
Right?
It is a
When we
gathering.
entertain,
It's a
people
gathering space.
hang around in the kitchen.
Always. Like
Now,
always.
You know,
Because-
and yeah, listen, granted, we put out a lot of the food and hors d'oeuvres and things like that and in the kitchen and things and people like to eat food and and have drinks and so the kitchen is a place that people congregate.
But they like to
Unless
eat.
you're playing pickleball.
You know what? But you're
then you want to
eating and
stay
you're
out of the kitchen.
You're eating and you're talking and I don't know. It's just such a it's a flurry of activity that's usually in the kitchen, right? And then you go in the studio like we are now, and it really is, like I said already, where creativity breathes. So I think it's about our aspirations. It's about our intentions. It's about what we want to produce and share with others. And goodness, it's all of these rooms deserve our attention. So it's also all of these rooms of our lives are let's see. There's another part of this that I want to explore.
That you have to wait for your brain to engage so that you can
No,
explore.
because I've also we talk a lot about what's next
Correct.
and the power of the pivot.
Yes.
So one, we were talking about those rooms and kind of the associations
Mhm.
of what they mean to us.
Okay.
So now I want to just quickly tell you what I feel about the 6 spheres of our lives that I was talking about earlier. So if you talk about the mental room, the mind,
Mhm.
we're talking about nurturing intellectual growth and well-being. So I then kind of elaborate on that and I said, what's next? So next, the part with the mind is to challenge yourself, right? To be a lifelong learner.
Yes, absolutely.
And with the guard pivot, it's also about facing the obstacles and fostering adaptability. So that's the mind.
Mhm.
Do you want to add anything to the mind?
No, I mean, listen, it's all of this is open to interpretation, right?
I agree.
And
But it's worthy
you
of
know,
interpretation.
yes, of course, and
Especially people with their resolutions at the beginning of the year. Like, what do you really want to make happen this year? Right? So let me talk about, wait, did you want to?
look
What?
who's on.
Hi, Rich. Mwah. Happy New Year. So let me go over the other ones.
Oh, and by the way, I believe Judy.
Yeah, she did say that.
Yeah.
She did.
So
So it's weird because
when we'll have to let people know when you're on Facebook. I think it is mainly you have to give permission to StreamYard
oh,
to put your comments up on the screen.
and for us to say your
Otherwise, you
name, you
come
mean, to say
right.
your name.
It's just you're just a user,
I noticed that.
Facebook user, but we
Okay.
know it's you.
So I'm just going to go over the other 5, right? So emotionally is really about the heart,
Mhm.
and about so next to understand and manage your emotions, and pivot meaning moving towards resilience. Physically, it's about our vitality, the room of vitality and physical health, and prioritizing exercise, which is very important. I've been playing pickleball. I go on my spin bike. We take walks. It's so important. It's you got to make it a healthy habit. And you got to pivot when anyone has health challenges, right? I always say the greatest wealth is health, good health. So then you have socially, community. We value you. So we want to build meaningful connections, that room, right? We care about that and have a fulfilled life. Next, to engage with your community and to pivot towards inclusivity and to strengthen the bonds. Relationally, interpersonal, right? It is all about next to invest time in nurturing those connections and pivoting towards effective communication. And relationships are so important. They're so important. Deepening relationships, especially to those that you really
I
care
think
about.
that's at the core, really, and
But it's an important room. It's an important room to evaluate and assess and to make sure you're surrounding yourselves with people that are lifting you higher and are providing what you need, whether it be support or whether it be just a listening ear. And then financially, we really all need, we all want to have stable financial lives. So we got to set goals and plans, and we have to pivot towards securing that, because really we never know what's going to happen. We don't know.
sure, we
what's
don't
gonna
know
happen.
we don't necessarily know what's next. We can hope for what's next. We can aim for what's next.
So every room
But
should be a source of growth,
Mhm.
fulfillment, and you know what? Importantly, as we say in the world of cannabis, homeostasis. There needs to be balance, Robert.
That's, I think,
So important.
if probably if you speak to most people, I would think that their life is not balanced in in the way that leans towards worrying about who you are and how you are, as opposed to others. And I think that's just kind of human nature, is that we worry about and we're concerned with others and we forget about us and what makes us happy and what makes us fulfilled. So I think as a resolution, right, we should pay a little bit more attention to our own happiness.
So tell everybody what you wanted to about what's coming so soon, especially our podcast.
Yeah, so we 2023 was a pivotal year for us.
It's our word of the year.
Yeah, it's our word of the year.
And it's this year's word, too. It's one of them.
And the stars were aligned, and we were set on a path that we didn't expect to be set on. And it was probably one of the biggest gifts we were ever given in being set on that path. And we're really excited about what's next for us. It seems so comfortable and such a part of us because we've really been working on this for a year now.
We've actually been working on it for 32 years.
Well, for 32 years. But really, to make it a
33,
reality.
33. Because ever since we met in 91.
Yeah, it's true. And the stars aligned, and so we're coming out.
I feel like
soon,
singing, we're coming out.
With some really exciting things. So that's very soon. And
but we can tell everybody our podcast. No?
Sure.
Okay. So our podcast is called Between Over and Next, and it's about exploring the space between what was, what is, and what's to come. We are going to be sharing decades of lessons learned and wisdom and stories and experiences through this podcast, not only our own adventures, but those of others that are that have stories worthy of sharing. So stay tuned, literally, and we hope you love it, and we hope you tune in every Tuesday, which is going to be when we release our weekly episodes. And
we hope you'll subscribe, and we hope you'll listen.
And share and review and enjoy, most importantly, and learn. We really want everybody to learn. We want people to minimize mistakes and to maximize success. That is our goal.
Yep.
And we are going to be releasing a host of other opportunities to connect and to potentially even work together. So with us, individually and collectively. So your next big thing is right around the corner. And we can't wait to learn what that is. So thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Happy, healthy, fun 2024, full of good health, and importantly, making memories, because every moment matters.
It really does. And sometimes it takes you a lifetime to realize that. And the quicker you do, the more time you'll have to live that. So
you deserve it, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. That's what matters.
And don't let
most.
anybody tell you anything different than
so
that.
I love you. And
you talking to me?
I am. And I wish everybody a wonderful rest of the day, wherever you are in the globe.
And thank you for watching live, and those of you who
and
are
if you
watching
enjoyed
in
this
replay,
episode of Holly and Robert Live, please share it. Oops, I went into my microphone. We are so grateful that you spend some of your time with us. We know how valuable it is. Kiss me, you.
You talking to me?
Yes, you.
Okay.
Oh, I love you.
2 kisses today.
2 kisses. Top and bottom of the show. Have an amazing rest of your day, and may this be the best year ever.